You are listening to the Box Office Artists podcast. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. My apologies. First of all, my apologies to those who've been coming in and out for the last hour. Hi, everyone. My name is James Reyes. I am the Box Office Artist, and I am live to hang out with you this morning. Good morning to everybody. Good evening, good night, whatever time it is for you. It is 11 a.m., almost 11 a.m. right now. Again, my apologies, guys. I was hoping to stream at 10, so I had it scheduled for 10, and some things happened. I couldn't get home in time. So literally, I got home about 10 minutes ago, so I'm finally on right now, and we won't waste any time. We're going to get going with today's theme. Today's theme is X-Men. And again, everything will be centered around cartoons, guys. Everything from here on out will be centered around cartoons. That is the direction I've decided to take this channel, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that, because I think all of us love cartoons, don't we? All of us love cartoons. And I wish my mic wouldn't just keep rolling in my face here. But all of us love cartoons. I love cartoons. Oh, my mic keeps moving. There you go. That's better. So my first question for you guys is, we'll just do a couple of these. But let's go ahead and start off with some fast draws here, guys. So you know the drill. So give me an X-Men fast draw, please. X-Men fast draw. Go for it, guys. Go for it. X-Men. Let's go. All right. So you know what we do? Before I would go a minute, guys, but I'm finding the minute. Well, you know what? How about this? Let's do a couple minutes, and then let's do a 3 minute, because the 3 minutes are always better. And I'm a little bit more relaxed with the 3 minutes. But let's do a minute first. Okay, so who am I drawing? That's the question. Who am I drawing here, guys? Who am I drawing? Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go here. So welcome to the stream, everyone. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful day. This is day 3 of the streams, and I will admit to you guys that on Friday, I will, if I'm able to stream, I will. If I'm able to stream, I absolutely will. But it's not looking likely, because Friday's a travel day. I'm traveling from Toronto to Quebec City. I'm driving there, and it's a long drive. It's about a good 8-hour drive or so. So probably it's going to take me about 10 hours to drive there. And, see, you can see who I'm drawing here. I think you can pretty much get it right now. There you go, with 12 seconds left. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, oh, 1. I tried to get in the clause at the last minute. I forgot. There you go. This is to a longtime friend of the channel, a good friend of mine, an amazing, talented artist as well, to my buddy Mario Ultimate Art. So make sure you check out Mario's page, by the way. He's a phenomenal artist. And definitely one of my, one of the moderators, and definitely a talented artist himself. And thank you for all your help over the years, my friend Mario. All right, that was your idea. Okay, now give me another one, my friend. Give me another one. We'll do another one. You can hear my dog barking. Out there. Give me another suggestion, my friend. Give me another suggestion. Let's go. Okay, we'll do 1 more minute, and then we'll do a 3 minute, and then we're going to do another 1 minute. We're going to do a 3 minute, and then we're going to get into the drawing. So we're probably going to stream today for about I would say 2 hours, because I do have a meeting today around 1:30 my time. So let's just say around 2 hours, 2 hours or so. Okay. All right, let's do this one, guys. You guys ready? You guys ready? Here we go. This is going to be a fun one. Are you guys ready? Let me know if you guys know who I'm talking about here. Here you go. In 3, 2, 1, let's go here. But the hope is, I've been very unsuccessful trying to get these covers done during the time of the stream. Like I would love to have these finished in the stream, but it's just not working out that well. It has to be meaner. With 30 seconds left here. So it's just not working out. So I'm doing the best I can. So I did finish the Galactus one yesterday. But I'll admit, though, the Galactus one, it was tough. Was not the easiest one. I'll tell you that much, guys. Definitely not. It was not the easiest one to draw, for sure. As we come down to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Who is this? Yes, that's right. This is for my friend Suprio. Samantha. There you go. My friend Suprio Samantha, and he wanted me to draw the Blob. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. And one thing I did want to try to do today, again, guys, is I did want to see if we have time. Nakado Avocado. This is before he lost weight. Nakado Avocado before he lost weight. So I did want to, and we'll do one more here, guys. We'll do a 3-minute now. So give me suggestions for a 3-minute. That's a pretty good Blob. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate it. I think it was my last piece of paper. I might need to get some more paper. I know it was my last piece of paper because I was testing the white ink on this. So I'll just keep it on this. But here you go. All right, so the Galactus is looking awesome. Thank you so much, Michael. So I'll show you guys what the Galactus look like in a second. But, guys, which one should I draw for the 3-minute version right now? Let's do 3-minute version right now. Okay, so let's go here, guys. All right. Okay, let me look back here. There's some interesting ones in here. Let's see here. Am I going to draw avocado? Probably not. Probably not. But let's try this one though. Let's try this one. See if you know who it is, guys. See if you want who it is. See if you know who it is. And this will be the last one we're going to be drawing. And then we're going to get into the cover. And while I'm drawing the cover, guys, feel free to draw as well. I'd love to see your drawing. And feel free to tag me if you're drawing something similar to what I'm drawing, or if you're not. If you're drawing whatever you want to draw, by all means, let's do that, guys. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So we're definitely sticking on the theme here today. And though I will need your help for tomorrow, though. I definitely will need your help for tomorrow because I'm unsure what to do tomorrow. So I'm taking a look at the blank covers I have. Take a look at the blank covers I have, and maybe we can make a decision together. What should we go ahead and draw tomorrow here? But you guys have suggested what I am drawing today from yesterday's stream. I believe I forgot who suggested it, but somebody suggested suggested Apocalypse. So I am going to be drawing Apocalypse on this blank sketch cover here. Okay. So you can tell from my drawing right now, I don't think this is Cyclops. It doesn't look like Cyclops right now. Oh. With 1 minute and 43 seconds left. So I think you guys know who it is already. Though at the same time, I think I made a mistake. I gave her pupils. I shouldn't have gave her pupils. Whoopsies! So yeah, by all means, if you feel like drawing along today, please do draw along. I always like to call these the virtual studios, right? This is a virtual studio. So if you feel like drawing, if you want to hang out, you want to do homework, whatever you would like to use these streams for, by all means, please join me because we have a very interesting topic today for the stream. And when we get to the podcast part of the stream, so I'm actually very excited to talk about it because it is something that a lot of people have asked me about a lot, and it's something that I do like talking about because it's something that's a very taboo subject. There's not a lot of people like to talk about it. You know, it's 37 seconds left. I feel like I have too much time for this one. Though it's at the same time I kind of messed up the shape of the face here. That's what I get for not, for 3 minutes, I should lay things out. I should lay things out with a pencil. Be easier if I did. I didn't notice the time. There you go, my friend. So I believe, I think the first one, I think this was for Yotam, right? Yotam? For Yotam. 20, not to be confused with the 2023 version. This is Yotam's suggested Storm, and I gave her the X-Men 97 Mohawk here, so that is your Storm right there, guys. So thank you guys so much. We will do some more fast draws a little bit later on, but right now let's go ahead and we're going to get right into doing this X-Men 97, and throughout it all, I am going to stream this. By the way, the Galactus one is fully colored. Actually, I will show you guys that one in a second here. Actually, let me do this. We'll do some YouTube in here, guys. We're gonna do some YouTubing. Remember we used to sing that in these streams before? It goes YouTubing, and then one of my friends, he actually made a song. He actually created songs for me. The Unnecessary Detail song. You guys even remember that? I don't know if you remember that. Oh, you guys saw that already, right? Okay, so by the way, this is what it looks like, guys. This is the final. That's how it finished off there. That's what we ended up with. So I definitely did not do all of that on stream. I think I just got like part of the face done, right? On stream. But this actually took me a while. You guys can imagine this took me a while. So this is one of the longer ones I've done. So let's see if I could record this properly. Let's see here. Or maybe I'll hold on to the camera here. So you're looking at the behind the scenes of the Instagrams, my friends. Oh, oops. There you go. Just kind of threw it away. There you go. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Appreciate it. My dollar store holder. Today's let's go. Today's stream is brought to you by Starbucks. That's a drink. Very nice. A lot of the Starbucks are closing down these days. But anyway, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open this up. Right now, it's in a plastic. We're gonna use an Ultimate X-Men cover. I am sad that I never got the X-Men 97 covers. Because there were some blank X-Men 97 covers, and that was too late to pick them up. So I should have got more. But I thought, okay, let's go ahead and use these Ultimate X-Men, which is a little bit different. It's definitely not X-Men 97. Let's just take a quick look inside here. Oh, interesting art in here. Very interesting art in here. Okay. All right, so we're going to use the Ultimate X-Men 97 cover. Okay, and then let me do some YouTube in here. All right. Slar asks, where do I get the blank variant covers? My local comic shop. My local comic shop. They always have a lot. So Hopefully you have some. If you have an actual comic shop near you, hopefully you'll be able to pick one up there, or they carry them. I know some comic shops don't carry them. Like there's a comic shop near my house. And they don't carry blank comic covers. They don't. They don't. You know, they don't order them. They just get the regular covers. But the store I go to, Gotham Central. I plugged. Shout out to my friend Carlos. You know, it's one of the best stores in Canada for sure, if not the world. So he always has the blank covers as well. So the very first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to kind of border off. Like that. So I'm not going to ink that side, just this. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to go ahead and draw. Imaginaire in Quebec. I'll check. Thanks. Okay, so there you go. You have your own in Quebec. Where are you in Quebec, Slur? Where are you in Quebec? Are you able to go to Quebec City Comic-Con? I am going to be a guest at Quebec City Comic-Con this year. Super duper excited to be a guest at Quebec City Comic-Con, and thank you to the showrunners there, especially my buddy Cliff. Thank you again for first of all for understanding last year when I had to cancel my appearance. I had to cancel my appearance at Quebec City Comic-Con last year, unfortunately. But he was very, very understanding, and I had to cancel both Quebec City and Winnipeg last year. So thank you to Cliff for not only understanding, but also inviting me back this year as well. He runs both shows. So thank you, buddy. Thank you. And I was super excited to be there this weekend. If any of you are going to the New York Comic-Con, this was starting tomorrow, I believe. So if you are, take care of yourselves. Have all yourselves a wonderful time. Try not to get sick. Okay. Try not to get sick, all right? Try not to. There you go. Let's see here. Alara says, have I heard of Jimbo Salgado? Yeah, he's a friend of mine, actually. Amazing artist. You guys think I'm detailed. That guy, it's the definition of detail. I think, yeah. If detail was like, someone asked detail, well, how do you explain yourself? They'll be like Jimbo Salgado. That's what phenomenal work. Phenomenal artist. Okay, so as I'm going ahead and drawing this, why don't we go ahead and get into the podcast portion of this? So I will, again, apologize in advance because when I do the podcast portion, as a lot of you know, I don't really go to the comments that often. Maybe I'll try to. In this particular case here. I'll try to. When I talk about a certain subject, because I have this broken down into a few different categories here. So I would love your take on a lot of these categories. So maybe we could do this part together, okay? But so why don't we go ahead and we're going to talk. And Lavelle Julian says hello on X. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. What am I going to do with the fast drawing? It's going to be here. I'd love to ship it out to you, but first of all, what's it called? First of all, Canada Post is is on strike right now, so I can't ship out nothing. I can't ship out nothing right now. So again, that's another reason why my store's not. You know, I need to put a stop on my store right now. If you, I can't really ship anything right now, even if I wanted to. So that's the unfortunate part. So we will get to that, okay? But I did want to talk about a very, very important subject today, but let's go ahead and get into the podcast portion of this, okay? My friend, so let me pull up my notes here. What are my thoughts on the upcoming Wolverine game? Everyone's excited about it. It's looking like a lot of fun. For sure. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and draw Apocalypse. Hold on, guys. Even before I do that, let me just pull up some extra reference here. Get my Apocalypse reference here. I should have had that done beforehand. By the way, guys, I am starting to put videos more out on a regular basis. So keep your eyes out around 6 p.m. I'd say around 6 p.m. every night, Eastern time. So whatever that is for you, that's Eastern. I'll be putting out a new video. Yesterday, I put out the Shockwave video. So thank you to everyone who was able to check that video out. If you haven't checked that video out yet, if you could check that out, it'll mean the world to me. I have another video coming out today that's focused on the Last Ronin piece that I did. If you guys haven't seen that piece, I did a Last Ronin piece. We actually drew that on the stream, if I'm not mistaken, on the podcast. That is finished, that is colored, and I'm going to show that to you later today. And I got a whole bunch. Like, I'm taking a lot of the streams that we've done in the past, and I'm actually going to release them because I'm coloring them now. I'm actually updating them. I'm updating them because, I was looking at the work, and basically because they looked rushed to me, and they were rushed because I was trying to finish them in stream, right? So we were each piece we did it for what, 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. So each one felt quite rushed to me. So with that in mind, I went back and I actually fixed them. I fixed them up, and I'm gonna go ahead and color that and then release those as videos as well. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that too. Okay, so a lot of content coming to the channel, guys. Plenty of content. Feel free to support it if you'd like, right? To everyone who's interested in that kind of stuff. I will also be on the stream here today answering your questions that anyone has left. If anyone's left a question or comment on any of my videos, okay, we'll just go quickly through. And if there's any pertinent questions there, I will answer them. Or any cool comments, I will definitely highlight them, okay? So that's what we are going to do today, all right? Now, while this is kind of laid out, okay, it's kind of laid out to... Should we see teeth, guys? Part of me wants to show teeth. You see my face? You know when I'm when I sketch out a face, I do the same face. Are you guys like me? I do that. Like, look at that. Like, like that. Like that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into the topics. And once again, thank you guys for joining in today in the stream and for hanging out with me. It really does mean a lot to me. Echo says, do you regularly use cheap mechanical pencils for your sketches? I do. I do, my friend, I do. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll draw this. And again, guys, my apologies. I'll do my best to get you guys involved in the talk. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about turning your art into a career, and that's what this is all about today, by all means, put your questions in the chat, and we will talk about it, or hold on to those questions, and then maybe repost them when I go to the chat to talk about these things. So let's do this right now. Okay, let me just clap my hands. Hi, my name is James Reyes. I am the box office artist, 25 years as a professional artist, former Marvel and DC artist, working for things like Hulk, Incredible Hulk, Wonder Woman, Birds of Prey, all of that, but especially Transformers for IDW. I've been working in comics for a long time, but I've also worked in film for 10 years, working on movies like Watchmen, Percy Jackson, Fantastic Four, and most recently, I've been on YouTube for 12 years now. 12 years now, and that's where a lot of you are watching me on right now or listening, watching me live right now. But this is the Box Office Artist podcast, available on all podcast networks, or will be eventually, hopefully soon. Okay, so please do leave a like and a listen and a share and all that fun stuff. If you would like to watch the version where I'm recording this live, I tried to go live as much as possible on my YouTube channel and on my other platforms like Facebook and all that. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to be drawing. So if you're listening to this right now, I'm drawing an apocalypse from X-Men 97. That's what I am going to do. I'm also going to drink some Starbucks here. Oh, I could use a Starbucks sponsorship. There you go. There you go. And I'm just pulling up some apocalypse reference here. But what I did want to talk about today, is about making a living doing art. And I think at the end of the day, that's what everyone wants to do. That's the dream. That's what we all want to do. Can we make money doing the thing that we love the most? And to be honest, it's never been... Well, let me say this. I would have said that a few years ago, where it's never been easier to make money off your passion, especially in this social media age that we live in right now. You know, if you wanted to make a living off, you guys know I love wrestling. If I wanted to make a living off talking about wrestling, there are a lot of people who make a living talking about wrestling. There are a lot of people who make a living talking about knitting. There's a lot of, it's all, we call this interest media these days. Because I know I'm not the only one. And there are a lot of people actually out there who like this. And if you have a voice and a fun personality and people like to listen to you, it's a lot easier today than it definitely was in my time. When I was younger, like back in my time, we didn't have all of this stuff. We did, we hardly had internet back in my time. So all of this is new, and with that comes opportunity to make money off what you love to do. Now, I won't say that I always wanted to be an artist growing up. I have talked about my story plenty of times. I grew up with the assumption that I was going to be a doctor. And I've told this story ad nauseum already. But I made a deal with my parents because it was my last year of high school. I decided, you know what, I kind of want to, wouldn't it be the best if I could earn a living doing what I love doing? And, I would love to do comic books, and that was my goal. My last year of high school, my goal went from being, some sort of medicine to being a comic book artist. And that's when I went back to school to pursue my goal of becoming a comic book artist. Now, I talked about this journey before in other podcasts and interviews and all that stuff. So definitely won't bore you with all that. But I've had a very, very long and storied career. Right now, 25 years professionally, meaning paid. 25 years getting paid for doing art. So can you get paid doing art? It is possible. It is possible. At the same time, are we in the most uncertain time to do so? I would say yes also. I would say yes to that also. But again, it's really hard. It's really hard to avoid the AI prospects of everything and how that's going to affect the artists. To be honest, AI is affecting everybody, not just artists, but especially the artists right now. But again, this isn't a podcast talking about AI, but it will affect the way we earn our living in the future, for sure. Definitely. So it is definitely something we should keep our eye on if that's the case. But let's go ahead and ask these questions. All right. So let's start with question number one. When it comes to making art a career. Okay. So today we're going to talk about building a business. You know, the mindset you should have, hustle. And that's an important one, hustle. The way you should hustle so that you can earn a living doing what you love to do. Okay, how hard you have to work to do what you love to do. That's all of that stuff we're going to talk about today. Like, I have a very loose outline of what I want to, of topics I want to cover today. If any, as I go through them, if I have any stories to share, I will definitely share them. Okay, with you guys right now. Okay, but let's go to question number 1, and this is question number 1. Can you actually make a living from your art? Well, absolutely. Absolutely. It is possible. Like I said, it is very, very possible. And there's 2 ways to do it. 2 ways. And I think you all know what the 2 ways are to make money. Okay? 1, somebody will hire you. Number 2, you will hire yourself. Okay? Someone finds you the clients or you find the clients. Okay? That is the 2 ways. That's the only 2 ways really to make money. So when I say someone finds you the clients, you're working for somebody. You're working for a concept design studio. You're working for a visual effects company, which I have done for. You work for a comic book company, like I have. Okay, so all of that's all included there. Okay. Or you could do it yourself, where you're the one finding the clients. You are the one who are trying to find people who are willing to trade their hard-earned money for your artwork. And when you say it like that, you appreciate those people even more. The people that want to actually give you money, some of their hard-earned money, okay, for a piece of your art. Like, I am thankful every day for anyone who's willing to part with some cash. To either get a piece of art from me or to support me on the stream, like all of that. Like, I'm very, very thankful because it's very humbling too. The question is, how much is your art worth? Like I always say, guys, your art is only worth as much as someone's willing to pay for it. At the same time, if someone's only worth, someone could say to you, and I got this before too. I'll give you an example. When I did the Star Wars mural, I was selling prints of it at Alamo City Comic-Con. I was selling prints of it there, and one guy came up to me and he was saying I should sell it for this much because there was all this detail and all that. It was quite a high figure, and at first I priced it that way, but then I noticed not a lot of people were buying it. Definitely not a lot of people were buying it. So it's hard for me to say it was worth that much money if no one's willing to part their money to buy it. So, for example, I could say this cover here that I'm working on is worth $10,000. Woohoo! I could say that. I could say that. But if nobody wants to pony up the money for it, or if I put this on sale tomorrow and I don't hear a nibble, then realistically, it's not worth $10,000, right? Right? You know what I mean? It's worth what someone's willing to pay for it. It's worth what the demand is. There's supply and demand. All that matters. All that matters. I cannot charge as much as my hero Jim Lee does for his commissions. I just can't. I just can't. But the thing is, with the high price, you're buying, with his, and I don't want to keep going all over when I'm talking here, but for his commissions, right, you're not just buying the actual commission itself. You're buying history. You're buying legacy. You're buying, one of the artwork from one of the most influential and prolific artists in the world, right? So that's what you're buying there, not just the sketch, right? So a lot of times it's more than what you think it is. So yeah. So the short answer, yes, you could definitely make a living off your art. Okay. So either someone's going to hire you, or you sell yourself. You sell yourself to the public. Okay. You sell your artwork to somebody who's willing to exchange their money for your art. Okay? So, let's see here. That topic's so wide, I could go off to different subjects about that. Let me go through. If you guys have any questions from what I say, I'd love to answer that for you. So make sure you put that in the comments as well. In fact, before I go on to the second part of that topic, why don't I go here and just read some comments of that first part that I said there. Echo says here, do you think if you post your art more and gain recognition over time, can I eventually make a living out of it? Well, I actually that falls into the second question that I have here. Okay, and which is question number 2. What do comic and YouTube fans not realize about art hustle? Okay, so I guess that is very, very similar, and I believe that was Echo who asked that question, right? Yes, Echo asked that question. It depends. All of that depends, my friends. Okay, it's not a paint by numbers thing. Let me just say that it's not a paint by numbers thing. Okay, it's just like YouTube. It's just like TikTok. You know, all that stuff. There's no magic formula in terms of if I post 500 times, then I should have this many followers. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. If I post consistently for a year, I should expect to have 100,000 followers. Does not work like that. Does not work like that. I am the best case scenario for that as well. Remember, guys, when I started YouTube, it took me 5 years before I got any traction, guys. I think it was like I didn't get 1,000 subscribers until 4 years, 3.5, 4 years in, something along those lines. 3 years in, so it's not a paint by numbers thing. So the important thing, Echo, is okay. It's that gain recognition part that you want. Can you eventually make a living out of it? You definitely can, for sure. But the question is how you make the living. I think that's more, and I guess that's one of the things that could be part of this question here. What do comic and YouTube fans not realize about the art hustle? That it's sometimes more than art as part of the hustle itself. Okay. Now let's talk about from the self-employment standpoint first. For someone to generate revenue to live, like all of it matters. Okay. So let me break down a little bit how I make money off YouTube, okay? Or how it was anyway when it was good. It's definitely not as good as it was before. When things were good, when things were great, when I was popping, guys, when I was popping. The majority of my income came from YouTube AdSense and brand deals. That's where it came from. Those two, okay? So it was more like, I was an artist on YouTube, but I was primarily a YouTuber. Okay? Why do I say that? Because I wasn't making money selling my artwork. I was making money getting you guys to watch me create art, okay, which is two different things, all right? Me doing a piece for Disney, that's them buying my artwork. That's different, okay? That's different. But when I was just, at the peak, and to be honest, when I made the most money was when I was doing, it came from those two primary sources, AdSense and brand deals. Both are advertising. So people are watching my stuff so much, advertisers are like, okay, we want your audience, put this product in front of your audience, and, and we'll try to monetize it that way. We'll give you money for putting your product in front of your audience, right? Hence all the deals I was doing there back in the day, right? The HelloFreshes, the, what's it called? Surfshark, like stuff like that, all the VPNs. That is sometimes more lucrative than getting someone to buy your artwork. It can be. Now, how else did I make money? Of course, I did have the odd commission here and there, but not much. Back then, my store was pretty booming too. My store, so people were buying art prints from me. A lot of them. A lot of them were. And again, you don't really realize how much until it's gone. You know what I mean? How much people were supporting me in that matter, unless it's gone. So definitely, my store doesn't do as well as it did back then. But yeah, selling product. And that's the best way to make money, to be honest, guys. That's the best way, is selling product, I would say. YouTube AdSense will eventually go away. It's here for a bit, but eventually, I always equate being a YouTuber to being like a, what's it called? Like a one-hit wonder, like a musician or an actor. Whereas, there's very few that are able to sustain us for long term. There's very, very few. Very, very few. Trust me, I know. So that's why you have your one-hit wonders. That's why you have those actors that you see in like a couple things, and then you don't see them anymore. Maybe you'll see them in a commercial, but that's about it, right? But they were like the dad on some show, right? That's the type of thing. That's a YouTuber life too. You have guys that are hot at a certain period of time, but then they kind of go away. You think about it, guys. Even think about like 5 years ago, guys. 5 years ago, think about the YouTubers that you used to watch. Even 5 years ago, how many of them are still kicking today? Not many. Not many, So, hello, Carly. Good to see you. Alaria says Jim Lee needs a commission from you. You can afford it, trust me. So, with that in mind, it's like you need to have multiple streams of income if you are doing this on your own, okay? If you are your own boss, there's pros and cons with being your own boss, okay? I will admit to you guys, it's harder. It's harder because at the end of the day, you are the one paying the bills. You are the one, if you have employees, you're paying the employees. You got to make sure the money's still coming in. And that was the hard part when I was running the business before, when I had employees. It was tough. It was tough to make sure that they were getting paid and they were getting paid on time because they have their bills they need to pay and all that stuff, But also, if you want to do this on your own, right? If you want to go the YouTube route or the business, all that, you are working and you are working hard. You are working hard, my friend. You are working very hard. You are working like 16, 20 hours a day. You are working extremely hard. That's why, guys, I always say if you want to go into something like this, if you want to do the YouTube game, doing art, make sure you're doing something that you actually like doing. Because you imagine working 16 hours on something you hated doing. No matter how lucrative it is, no matter how much money you're making, you're going to burn out at some point, for sure. When you are enjoying what you're doing, it takes a little bit longer to burn out. It really does. It takes a bit longer. Not saying it doesn't happen. Of course it does. But it takes a bit longer, George says, how much do your commissions cost? Can you send to Greece? I can send to Greece. I just can't do it right now because Canada Post is on strike. But, George, feel free to email me at contact at jamesraysmedia.com. Contact at jamesraysmedia.com. And just let me know and we could work something out, my friend. That's what we'll do. But I do think that is another thing that YouTube and comic fans don't realize about the art hustle. In that sense, is about how hard you need to work. Like literally, how hard you need to work. But also, here's another thing. Here's another thing that people don't realize. Just because somebody works hard does not guarantee success. It does not guarantee success. I work 20 hours a day. Fantastic. Are you working on the right things? That's the thing, right? And let me give you a simple example like that. Like you could go around working 20 hours trying to go get, you could try to get pop cans out of garbages so that you could exchange them for change. You're not going to get rich off that. It doesn't matter if you work 20 hours, right? Doesn't matter if you work 20 hours. Okay? Uh, just a simple, just to show you what I mean, okay? So just because you're working 20 hours, does that mean you're entitled to get a certain amount of success, okay? You got to make sure you're working on the right things. And take that from somebody who was working on the wrong things. I like to think myself as a hard worker. I like to. And there were times when I should have, like, maybe I should have concentrated more on this. Maybe I should have concentrated more on that, like stuff like that. That would definitely happen all the time, So it's hard work, guys. Hard work. It's sleepless nights. It's all of that. So, uh, even in comics, guys, like comics is tough. If I'm gonna be honest with you guys, comics is a tough job. And again, depending on your style and how hard you could work, you work. Um, because remember, in comics, if you want regular work in comics, you need to put out a page a day. And in a actual professional setting, that's really tough, guys. I will admit to you guys, that's really, really tough to do. Okay. So earning a living, definitely possible. Definitely possible. But just like anything else in life, if you want to succeed, if you want to be on the upper tier of workers, you got to be willing to work. You got to be willing to improve yourself. Okay, you got to be willing to listen to criticism. You got to be willing to figure out ways to make yourself better. You got to be able to figure out ways to make yourself better. I think a lot of you are like that already. So. Larry says, if you have an experience like this, can you speak of a time you got offered a sponsorship for something you didn't believe in and passed it up? What was it like for you passing it up? I will say yes, that has happened. That has happened a bunch of times. I'll tell you right now, guys. You know how many AI sponsorship deals that come my way? It's like daily. I've had AI coloring books try to sponsor me or contact me trying to sponsor me. Right? I had and that's not my audience. That's not my audience. That's not me. You'll never see me promote an AI centered what's it called an AI centered deal. I'll never do it. But more than that, guys, yes, it has happened. It has happened where I got sponsored. I was contacted to be a sponsor for some products that that actually a lot of people are sponsored by, but I just can't because of you know of a multiple. Let's just say multiple reasons, but let's just say it's happened. It's definitely has happened, and it's happened a lot. So at the end of the day, guys, you need it's more than just money. Like you need to be true to yourself and who you are. And it was like if I took these sponsorships, I wouldn't be true to who I am, right? So so the answer is yes. Yes, I have. I have. T-Knock asked if I ever worked with Michael Turner. Unfortunately, no. I did meet him briefly. In Top Cow, like a long time ago. For those of you who don't know, Michael Turner is a legendary artist in comic book spaces. He passed away from cancer quite a while ago, but he was one of the top artists in the world at the time, so it was very sad. But yes, I did get to meet him when I visited Top Cow quite a while ago. So there you go. So Michael has a question here. I'm just starting. We found my passion for comic art again. Got lucky. I got to do a couple covers for small indie books. Good for you. That's fantastic. That's great. What would you say to concentrate on early on? So my question to you, Michael, is what do you want to do? Do you want to draw comics? Or are you happier doing covers? Because you are actually already are ahead of the game here. You're actually very much ahead of the game here because a lot of a lot of people want to do covers, but they're not published. And you are actually having some published covers, which is fantastic. A lot of people don't have that experience. A lot of people want to be cover artists, but they don't have the covers. Like some people who come up to me, they want to be cover artists. I tell them, well, you got to find a way to be published. You got to show you could do the job. You got to show you could do the job. That's with everything, guys. That's with, if you want to be a concept artist, you got to prove that you could be a concept artist. If you want to be a comic book artist, you got to prove you could tell stories, like all of that. So if you're telling me, Michael, you want to do covers, you're on your way. You're on your way. The more you could prove that you could do the job, the better. And that's with all jobs. The more you could prove that you could do the job, the better. So, for example, if you want to do Marvel DC covers, right, you got to prove you could do really cool covers with Marvel and DC characters, okay? So I would suggest, yeah, definitely do some of those, but also to have actual published covers, that's good too. So, let's see. Is it possible to work like part-time as an illustrator at the beginning of a career? Example, doing a book or a comics cover. Of course it's possible, Slarp. It's all about getting the opportunities. It's all about getting the opportunities. But at the same time, I will say, because here's the deal, okay? Here's the deal with working in comics or like, especially in comics, guys. Especially in comics, this is the biggest deal in terms of comics. In comics, you are not just competing with Joe Schmo, Joe Schmo. You know Joe Schmo? You're not just competing with Joe Schmo, the amateur comic book artist, at the same level as you are, at the same age as you are. No, you're not. You're competing with John Doe, the professional comic artist who has been working for 20 years looking for his next gig. You're competing with a lot of those people. You're competing with Joe Schmo's brother, John Schmo. John Schmo, who also wants to work in comics, but doesn't have a full-time job and is willing to work 20 hours a day to improve his craft. Okay? So, is it possible? Absolutely. I know a lot of people. Like, I'll give you an example, too. I had a friend when I was working on Stargate. He didn't go to school for visual effects. He learned on his own. He was a construction worker. So what he did was he went to his day job, worked 9 to 5, and then from 6 o'clock to 2 in the morning, he studied visual effects on his own. And then he ended up working for me, or working with me, not for me, working with me. He ended up working with me. So is it possible? Absolutely. It absolutely is possible. Okay? But just know at what position you're at, okay? If you're trying to get a book cover, remember you're competing with people who are trying to do this full time as well, okay? So your work has to be good enough for them. Well, to be honest, they don't even ask you like how long you've been working, if you have a job, whatever. They don't care. They just want to make sure you can do the job. Your art on a what's the word I'm looking for? Your art on a what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the word. It's like a taste. You know, it's like your art is marketable enough, right? That they're willing to hire you, that they feel your art will help sell their book. Okay, in those terms, there's a term for that. I just can't think of it right now, but think about it that way. Okay, so is it possible? Sure, absolutely, it's possible. Absolutely, it's possible. That's another. So I would say that's another thing that people don't understand about comics, is that it's not a long time gig. Like you don't have like 10 years exclusives for Marvel. There are exclusives for sure. There are exclusives, but usually it's contract to contract, guys. It's contract to contract. You go from one to the other. You go from one job to the other, and while you're doing the one job, you're looking for another job. That's the job of freelance artists, guys. It's like half your time is looking for work. The other half is actually doing the work. So I remember my art teacher back in school. He would say that was his week: Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's when he would do the actual work itself. Tuesdays and Thursdays, he would go and look for work. So back then, internet wasn't as big a thing back then. So he would go visit advertising agencies, drop off. They were called tear sheets. So sheets of his work and all that. Like that's what they would do back in the day. So you do what you got to do to make that living, my friend. There you go. Michael says, I'd love to do covers, but I also want to do my own IP eventually. I do pencils, but haven't done any inking. Should I learn more inking? I notice a lot of pros do a lot more inking. Today is different. Years ago, I would say yes. Learn some inking, especially if you want to do your own work. But today, like I would say, try to learn how to do the whole thing yourself, including the colors. The whole thing. How you would enjoy the process. Like I love inking my own stuff now. I don't think I could go back to traditional penciling. If a company went, well, I'm sure I'll try to figure it out. But if there was a company that wanted to hire me, but they said somebody else is going to do your inking, I'll probably do it. But I would much prefer to do my own inking now, even though I know it's not the cleanest, my inking. But at the same time, like I'm just kind of used to the system I built for myself and how I do things. So, it's finding what works for you, finding your style, my friend, right? So I think it's better if you could learn how to do everything yourself. Yeah, that's even better. But start out first. If you want to learn inking, yeah, by all means, it won't hurt if you want to do inking. So. Let's go back to that one. So we're only on the second topic here now. Number 3, how do you avoid burnout? How do you avoid burnout? That's a great question there. So burnout comes in many, many ways. Okay, burnout comes in many, many ways. So I'll approach this from different perspectives here. One way to avoid burnout, guys, is planning. Okay, planning. And when I say planning, is trying to avoid the burnout before it happens, okay? Only take as many jobs as you can handle. I got burned out once because I had too many jobs on the plate, okay? So that's a now I know not a lot of people have that many opportunities, for sure. And that only happened really once to me in that time. So it's like focus on one thing at a time. That will help, okay? Number 2, only choose projects that you love to do. Okay? If you love to do something, if you love doing something, the more you'll end up, being less burned out because you actually love doing it, right? So those are 2 main things I would say. In terms of burnout itself, it's careful planning, and then uh, what's it called? Doing things that you enjoy. Okay, taking jobs that you enjoy. No, again, time will come. Like, if, for example, like just say you did work on X-Men, but then you have 10 pages to do in 5 days. Well, maybe that was a planning thing. Right? The only time Marvel or DC will tell you have to do 10 pages in 5 days or whatever is if, number one, they tell you right up front and we're willing to pay you a little bit more to try to get those pages out, which has happened. Or number two, you didn't plan it properly. Let's be honest. You didn't plan your time properly. that happens. So, okay. Sleep's important, guys. Getting sleep, health is important also, and trying to control those times when you just feel like you're overworked. Sleep, proper nutrition, all of that stuff. That it does matter. It does matter at the end of the day. Who am I? Look at me. Who am I to tell you about having proper nutrition? It is what it is. Take care, Maria. But at the same time, it definitely helps if you are living a little bit healthier. So yeah, those are a couple keys to avoid the burnout part of it. Okay, careful planning, health. Okay, and doing what you love to do. Those are the three factors. Now, again, it's not a be-all, end-all cure because, everyone experiences burnout at some point or the other. So it's just a way to kind of minimize it. So that's what I would say. Let me ask you guys this. Any of you in the chat here, if you have any suggestions on how to avoid burnout, why don't you let us know too? I'd love to know from you. Okay. So number 4, what's the best way to price your artwork? Okay. So let's approach this from a few different settings. So just say you wanted to sell your artwork. Okay. Let's say at a trade show, because I've been talking recently about trade shows and how I go to conventions and stuff like that. I would always there's a couple of factors in the way you price your artwork. Okay, so number one, what does that mean to price your artwork? What are you selling? Are you selling reproductions of your artwork, so like prints or poster versions of your artwork, or are you actually selling the original version of your art? Because those are two different things there, right? Of course, the originals go for more. Why? Because there are no more of those. To actually get that back, right? You actually have to put in the time and the effort to, to create it again or make something new. Whereas a copy is a copy, but it still took your time to actually make that piece. But at the same time, you still own the piece. You can make as many copies as you want, right? Those are the two differentialities there when it comes to your artwork. So when it comes to actually prints, whenever I'm at a con, I always like to price it comparable to my surrounding. Okay, so when I'm at a convention, I will look at the other artists that, number one, that I feel are like on the same level as me. When I say on the level, same experience level. So I try to price it that way. Or I take a look around and see what the other talented artists around me, how much they're charging for their work. And, I don't want to charge too much. I don't want to charge too little. And there are times where I will adjust. Well, when I say adjust, probably not at that particular con, maybe in the next year. But, if you know right away if you price your stuff too high. The question is, did everyone buy it? Were a lot of people, too many people buying it? When I say too many, was it like flying off the shelf? Okay, you probably priced it too low. Or were nobody buying it? There was nobody buying it at all. Well, you probably priced it too high. For your quality of work. So both, that's what I like to do. Whenever I'm at a con, that's what I like to do. So I'll look at other artists. I'll take a scan of the floor and go around and see what other prices are out there. Not just for prints, but also like for original artwork. Like, for example, for me, I like to when I'm, for example, at a Transformers convention, I always like to keep my prices like similar to how my buddies price them, like the other Transformers artists. Mainly because I feel that's where I'm comparable, right? That's where I'm comfortable. Usually at these conventions, yes, you'll get the people that notice me from YouTube, like you guys. Like some of them just recognize me, but a lot more recognize me from my time working in comics at a comic book convention. So, so I like to go around and kind of assess in that way. I like to assess what the other artists, how much they're charging for their work. So that's like how I like to do it. Now, the way to do that online, I would go around and see how much people are charging online for work that's comparable to yours and your experience level. So I would go with not just the quality work, but also the experience level. Okay, the experience level. So those are two different things when it comes to pricing your work. Okay. So any of you guys have any questions about that? Hold on, let me see here. Jabbar says meditation, by the way, to help with the burnout. There you go. My buddy Ritsu, good to see you, my friend. My favorite way to avoid burnout is draw different subjects. There you go. Yeah, change it up. Change it up. That's a fantastic one, Ritsu. Actually, that's very similar. That's a similar question to art block. You know, sometimes people get art block. And one way that Doug Chang does it is very similar to you, Ritsu. He'll actually just kind of power through. He'll try to draw something else and just power through some drawings, and hopefully the better drawings start coming out afterwards. So he says, Ritsu says, for example, if you draw characters, go draw a vehicle building. It feels like you use the non-burnout part of your brain, and that's a great way to approach it for sure. David Finch always says, as from Malaria, when asked about motivation, is discipline. You may not be motivated or you may have burnout, but having discipline can see you through. That's very, very true as well. That's very, very true as well. Because also, you know, like, let's be honest, the disciplined person, like it doesn't matter their state of mind or being, they'll just go ahead and do it, right? They just do it. Now, again, not saying that people who have burnout, they they don't have a valid excuse. A lot of them do. And a lot of them have things going on in their lives, for sure. But then you have just people like, it doesn't matter what's going on in their life. They'll just do it anyway, right? That's discipline. That's discipline. And that's fantastic advice from a master. Jim, what's it called? David's a master here. By the way, go check out what's called Skin Breakers. I believe he has a new book out with some of the best artwork I've ever seen. Skin Breakers on there. George says my mic is volumes down. Is my mic the volume down, guys? Let's see if I could increase it just a little bit here. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and ask another question here. I'm just going to pull up a little bit more reference here, guys, so just bear with me. But I'm going to ask this next question here, which is a great question. Should artists work for, everyone's favorite word, exposure? As we like to call it, cheap labor. Cheap labor. It's harder for companies these days to get away with exposure work than it used to be. It really is. Because people call them out on it all the time for that. Now, this is my view on working for free, guys, okay? I would say there's no such thing as working for free. There's such a thing as working for no money, but that's not necessarily free. And when I say that, what are you getting out of it? If you decide to do something for no money, what are you getting out of it? Is there a purpose behind it? Okay. Now, let me give you an example. Like sometimes you'll have, and I remember, I'm not sure if it was ESPN or MGM. They had this art contest where you had to make a poster for like some sort of boxing match or something like that. And if you win, you get to be the big poster. You get to be the big poster for the match, right? But they weren't offering a cash prize at the time, so a lot of people called them out on it for cash prize. Now, a lot of people would still try to do it, even without money. Why? Because of exposure, right? But whether you agree with that tactic or not, if you do have a poster that was published for a big boxing event like that, it's good enough for them to pick yours. That looks really good in a portfolio. It really does. So it's like you're improving your portfolio. I always say, if you're not willing to work for free for somebody else, work for yourself. Work for free for yourself. And what do I mean by that? Well, for example, like when you create, you make your own posters for you. You make your own comic pages for you, right? For yourself, okay? Don't wait for someone to pay you before you actually get working. Work immediately. Always be working. Always work for yourself at least, every day. Hone your craft. Work for yourself, okay? Now, here are some caveats where I would be willing to, well, no, maybe not now anymore because, I've been doing this for so long. Probably not now. But if I was younger and be willing to work for quote-unquote free. Number one, if I want to be a comic book artist, if it's going to be published. If it's going to be published. Because a published book shows something. A published book shows future employers that you could actually do the job. So having something that's actually published that you could hold in your hand, that says way more than just a couple pages of sequential art does. It really does. It really does. So if you're with you probably won't get like a well-known writer, but a writer that has experience, and then it's published. That's something you can bring around. Something to think about. Okay, something to think about. Or you do that for yourself. You publish it yourself. In that case, right? And in fact, that's what internships are, right? Internships, people are working for free in internships. They, they're not paid much. They're not paid any money, but with the hopes that they would eventually get the job later on. When I was working at Dreamwave as a background artist, I at first I offered to work for free because it was an internship. They paid me. They offered to pay me. So, but that was something I would be willing to do it, willing to do it. So, that's a very touchy subject. That's a very, very touchy subject. Okay. That's why I would tell you guys, it all depends on the opportunity. It all depends what the opportunity is and who the opportunity's with. Like, for example, if somebody says, if it's just a writer and he says, oh, yeah, I'm going to get it published by Image, anybody could say that. Anybody could say, oh, yeah, I'm going to get my stuff published by Image. Image will publish anybody if they think the book's good, for sure. But it has to be like a guarantee. It's got to be like a guarantee it's published, right? So there you go. Echo's having an internship right now for academic purposes. Yeah, for sure. Like, you see that all the time. You see that all the time. Like people, there's a lot of social media internships these days too, right? Like stuff like that. Hold on, guys. 1 second here. Let me just do one thing here. Okay. So should they work for exposure? I won't give it a hard no, but it all depends on the type of exposure. It all depends on the type of exposure. So. Let's see. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go to the next question here. Let's go to Larry's question first. Besides skill, what would be another skill you feel would be critical for comics? Personal, communicative, all those type of skills. Definitely communicative. Communicative is important for any job. Let's be honest, any job that you're in. Can you imagine, hide? There are people who will hide from editors, right? Being able to tell your editors your status and how far along you are with the project, being accountable. Being honest, like all that's not just comics. That's like everything, right? That's like everything. Everybody wants to work with that type of person, you know? Of course, it's easier if you're a good person, right? If you're just a good person, you know, all of that counts. All of that counts. So everybody wants to work with a good person. Everybody wants to work with a reliable person. Okay? So definitely those traits help for sure. So hold on, guys. I'm just gonna add a couple more details to this face here. So the next question here is actually a very interesting one, guys. Okay, a very interesting question here, and as one, let's see how I can answer it. Okay, question number 6: how do you deal with hate or discouragement online? Online, okay. This took a while for me. I think I handle it way better than a lot of people, and maybe that's because of my experience. Again, you know, I worked in professionally as an artist for a long time. That's dealing with a lot of clients, dealing with a lot of supervisors, who at the same time, again, they're not saying these things sometimes to be mean. It's they're saying it because they have quality they need to uphold, and if you're not producing the quality, you're not producing the quality. Like I had this, I think I was mentioning this yesterday. I had a supervisor yesterday that was really disappointed in my work, and he had every right to be. He had every right to be. If I again, hindsight's 2020. I look back at the type of work I was producing back then. He was right. I was not producing in the way they were expecting me to. So I get it. Like I get it, right? So I think all of that criticism helped me a lot when I started my social media career, because you'll get comments all the time from everybody. You're from everybody, you know. And well, admittedly, yeah, a lot of it does hurt. A lot of it does. But I do feel like, for example, whenever it comes to like, you know, art-related criticisms of my work, I usually take those pretty well. I take them in stride. I was talking about yesterday how, you know, someone I admired a lot gave me some criticism of my work. It was kind of unexpected. But, you know what? At this stage, I still take that to heart, and you still try to use it to improve, right? So there's sometimes people who just say things just to be hateful because they want a rise out of you, okay? And I will say this to everybody here right now, okay? Okay? I'll say this to everybody, okay? It doesn't matter if you're an artist or not, okay? The more you could stop thinking about what other people think of you, the happier you're going to be. That's just the way it is. The more you stop thinking about what joeschmo.org online thinks about your looks, your appearance, and how you draw, right? The less you think about that, the happier you're going to be. Good or bad. Good or bad, okay? All right? Because at the end of the day, there are a lot of people out there, this is all they do all day. They're just there online all day, just scrolling, just looking for people to criticize. To be honest, sometimes so they can feel better about their own lives. So they could feel like, oh yeah, I'm better than this guy. Right? Why do you think people, you know, the most successful people in the world, they're the most criticized? Why? It's because there are a lot of people out there who are, you know, they'll never say it, but a lot of people out there think they should be doing better. There's a lot of people out there who are in bad circumstances and are just looking for a way to, you know, get out their own anger. And it's way easier to attack the people online than it is to deal with their own life. You know what I mean? There are people like that. And sometimes I feel really bad for them sometimes. Like how bad does your life have to be that your whole day is consumed with criticizing others? You know, just move on with your own life, you know? Slar says, and how do you deal with the lack of comments or just none? Well, you know what? You appreciate those who do comment. Slar, you appreciate those who are here. Like for me, and let's be honest, like I'm in that boat right now. Like as of right now, I see about 20 or so people that are watching me right now. I have a channel with 1.5 million subscribers. Probably a little less than that now, but a little less than that now. But you know what? Instead of focusing on those people who aren't here, I'm focusing on you guys who are here. Who's here? You guys are here, and I'm thankful for every one of you who wanted to spend a little bit of time with me today, no matter how long, how short, how long. I'm very, very appreciative of all of you guys. So thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for hanging out with me today and being part of the conversation, right? Aseno says, in life, you'll always have people who hate you, who will hate you, who will like you. Why should we care? We shouldn't care, right? Now, at the same time, yeah, you know, of course, we're human. You know, words hurt. Words can hurt. But the more we could ignore them, the more we don't give them a voice anymore, trust me, the happier we'll be with everything, you know? So that's personally how I live my life in that sense. So there you go. Yes, well, people like millionaires have issues attached to them, sure, for sure. But I'm not going to waste my time, even if they do, I'm not going to waste my time calling it out, right? You know, I'd rather focus on myself. Okay, what am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? It's one of those type of things, right? So anyway, that's how I personally get through life myself. That's how I personally get through life myself. They'll always be there, guys. Always be there. So anyway, with that was a little touchy subject there, guys. But you know, we get that, and sometimes you know it comes with the territory. You know, like the more you grow too, right? The more you grow too, the more you know. I will say in terms of subscribers, more followers you get, the more successful you are, the more those people will show up, and that's just how it is, guys. It's just how it is. So. So yeah, okay. So that was a little touchy. So what do you guys think about that? How about for you? What are your thoughts about that? How do you deal with haters? Okay, how do you deal with haters? How do you deal with criticism? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments down below or in the chat. I'd love to know as well. So here's question number 7, and this is another fun question. Is social media more important than skill today? Is social media more important than skill? Well, it depends on how you're making your money. It depends on how you're making your money. How you are making your living. If you are making your living being an artist for hire, social media is important because it gets you known, right? The more someone knows you, the more they're willing to hire you over John Doe who doesn't have social media. Okay? So social media is more about awareness. It's more about awareness more than anything else. Okay? By the way, even before that, there's just a couple of comments here. I love Jamie Odell was watching on Twitch, and thank you for watching on Twitch, my friend. I love the haters. They let me know I'm accomplishing something. There you go. That's true. You must be doing something right if there are people who are willing to spend their time to hate it. Right? You must be doing something right for sure. Aseno says, don't waste time with the haters. There you go. And Chris says here, hey, how you doing, Chris? Good to see you, my friend. So, but let's go back to the other question here. Is social media more important than skill? I would say these days it's not, but it is important. Let's just say it that way, okay? Oh, by the way, here's another. I keep going back and forth because I'm looking at your comments while I'm talking about it because this hater subject, definitely a very touchy subject for everybody. Ritsu says, honestly, I dealt with haters by just withdrawing for a bit, taking a break, posting and sharing, just making my art for myself. Yeah, just getting off online. That helps for sure. Yeah, definitely. But let's talk about social media. Yeah, it's a different game, guys. Today, definitely a different game than it was back in the day, for sure. You need to do social media today. You're competing with people who do social media. So in a way, it's the easiest time to be seen, but it's also the hardest time to be seen because everybody's trying to be seen. There you go. So I won't say it's more important, but it's very, very, very important. Social media in terms of, and again, it depends what you're trying to do. If your goal is to get more clients, get people to buy your artwork, they have to know you're there. And there's no easier way than in social media. There is no easier way. Now, at the same time, you should be able to do the work. But social media is not everything. It's not everything. And take it from a guy with 1.5 million subs. Sometimes I get rejected for conventions. Right? Sometimes I get rejected. It's happened. I get rejected, even though I have this large following. You'd think they'd want me there, but no. Doesn't mean anything. Just because I have 1.5 million subs, it means I can't go to Marvel tomorrow and say, hey, let me draw X-Men. It doesn't work that way. Now, does it get you in front of editors who can get you that job? Sure. Sure it can. Can it get you to monetize in different ways? Sure it can. Absolutely can. Is it easier to sell online if you have a bigger following? Absolutely. Absolutely it is. So, again, the answer to that is it as important as being talented? Of course, you got to show you can do the job. But is social media more important? I don't think it is, but it is still very important. There you go. Okay, so let me answer this quick question here, because Larry put this twice here. Your professional advice on how to face your future plans, like benefits, retirement, etc. I feel like many have these art dreams, but don't think about their future. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yep. And that's the hardest part. And that's the hardest part about comics itself. Comics has a fund. I'm not sure if it's still around. Maybe you guys know more than I do. They have this fund for struggling comic artists at the end of their career. That's pretty sad. Let me also give you like some realities in that sense. Being a freelance artist, sometimes you'll find yourself you have to live off credit cards because you're waiting for the next job to come in, and all that stuff. It's very, very tough to save. I personally have a financial manager that takes care of those things for me. In that sense, someone who understands and knows how to invest my assets properly. For me, I know that's not for everybody here, but the important part is, guys, you got to make the money first. Make the money first, okay? You got to make the money first, even before you think about that kind of stuff, right? I think that question is more pertinent once you are making money. Once you are making money, then it's about, once you are making money, it's spending within your means, and then yeah, investing. Now, again, investing is a little different in Canada than it is anywhere else in the world. There are different types of investments. There are different types ways to do it. So I really don't feel I'm qualified because I have people to do that for me in that sense. So, but that is something that most artists don't think about. I'll be honest with you, they don't. But it's really hard to think about that when you're not even making money. You know what I mean? You're not even making money. So first of all, even before thinking about that, we got to think. How you're actually getting that money in the first place. And sometimes you need another job, right? You need a job with benefits to be able to do that. So that's why it's really tough, man. That's really tough. That's a great question. It's a fantastic question. I wish I had a better answer for you there, but it's something that we definitely should think about for sure. There you go. Let me go to the next question here, and thank you guys for being part of the conversation. A lot of you are throwing in some fantastic questions today. But here's the next question I have personally. How long did it take you to become profitable as an artist? Again, it depends on the situation. Okay, depends on the situation. When I was working in comics itself. When I was working in comics itself, if you have a regular job, then it's livable. Okay, livable. Back then, and I have a video on this before about how much comic artists made back in the day. I'm not sure how relevant that particular video is today, but I did talk about how much, how much comic artists make back then. And it's a different game now. Like I always say, guys, like if all these conventions and stuff were here, and there were some, but people actually selling prints and all that stuff. If that was there back when I was doing comics, I probably would have never left comics. Probably never would have left. I probably would have just done convention hopping and tried to sell my stuff all the time. But back then, the livable wage, like I was only making like what? If I was lucky, I would be making what, $200 a page? Right? So you think about it that way, 5 pages a week, $1,000 a week. But of course you got to pay for taxes. You got to do your own taxes depending on where you live in the world. How much tax is that? And then you got your living expenses. So it's okay. It's okay. But that's for the bigger companies when you're starting out. That's for the bigger companies. That's not the smaller companies. Smaller companies, you're starting to pay like $100 a page, sometimes less for the smaller companies. And that was back then. To be honest, I have no idea what the rates are today. I've been out of comics for so long. Covers are a lot more, but also you make money off selling the pages. And that's what I noticed, especially today. Like I'm selling a lot of my old original pages today, and they could go for a lot of money depending on what's on the page and what it is. If it's a cover, it's a lot of money. So, a lot of people say people don't do comics for the money. They do comics, or to make their money. They do comics so that it's an advertisement for the conventions they go to. They make the real money at the conventions, and I could totally see that today. So yeah. But how long did it take for me to be profitable? I'll tell you how long it took me to get long-term work in that sense. Well, I pretty much had it right away because when I went to Dreamwave, that was pretty much a regular job. I was getting regular work there. When I finally got like regular Marvel work, that was until about 2004, I think I would like to say. 2004, so a couple years. But again, it all depends on what you're doing. For YouTube, it wasn't a livable wage. I started in 2013, not till 2019. I would like to say 2018, 2019. Yeah, end of 2018. So 5.5 years before YouTube, I was making enough money on YouTube to live, where I only had to do YouTube, right? Again, when I quit my job to do YouTube full time, I knew I wouldn't be making my money off AdSense, and that's in that time. It wasn't about the AdSense, so I was making money by like teaching and stuff like that. That's how I was making money. It wasn't by It wasn't from YouTube itself. It wasn't until, yeah, it wasn't until 2018, late 2018, that the sponsorship deal started coming in. That that the AdSense revenue was starting to really come up. So, so yeah, that took a long time. So, Alaria says, just curious, which comic characters would fit you a greater price per page? Yep, I would say so. Well, it depends on the book. It depends on your experience. It's more the experience, Alaria, than the character. Now, definitely the character, if you're working on a bigger book, you probably could negotiate. Like, again, guys, sometimes you're only worth what you negotiate. Part of life is the negotiation. If you're a good negotiator, like you could make you could make way more than the more talented artist, but at least the person who doesn't negotiate that well. And I'm not a good negotiator, so a lot of the times it's your skill level. That's what they pay for. Or your name is what they pay for. Well, let me say that properly. Your name is what they pay for. So that page rate, yeah, definitely can go up for sure. Like I hear about page rates that are $400, $500 a page. Sometimes I'm not sure more. I don't know because I never got to that level. I wish I got to that level. And then you're there. If you're at that level, you can also sell your pages for thousands of dollars. Like, so it can get lucrative later. It can, for sure. But yeah. So I'm not sure if it's the actual book or it's the actual person working on the book. Those are two different things. But again, I never worked on Batman, the actual title. So I have drawn Batman before, but I haven't worked on the actual title though. So there you go. All right. Let's go to the final question here that I have, and I'll be happy to go to your questions here. Number 10, what would you do differently if you were starting out today? And I talked about this before, okay? More preparation, a plan going in, okay? And now, if I'm just talking about comics, I think about comics. When I think about comics, the way I approach comics, and I talked about this before, how I would approach making comics if I was good to go back into comics today. Like, I would do whatever I can to make sure that, number one, the books come out on time. Okay, I get the work out on a timely basis, and that the quality is good. So I talked before about how this time around, if I were ever to get a chance to do a full-time book again, number one thing I would do is I would lay out the entire book first. So from page 1 to 22, I would lay out every single page first and make sure the layout is good, okay? I would make sure that there are pages there that look good in terms of like an action pose that are very sellable, okay? I'm thinking in the future now, okay? And the pages that I feel need the most attention, whether they be like something dramatic's happening in that page or a big reveal or something like that, those are the pages I'm going to draw first. I'm not going to start page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would do those first. If there's a big splash page, I would work on them first. So if I feel I do need extra time, like not just a day and a half, I will do that first for those pages. And then leave the pages where it's just like talking heads and stuff, leave that for the end. And then that way I know that everything will get the attention they deserve, okay? And number 2, I would make sure that my editor, who I'm working with, is always on top of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and they know when to expect things. So the communication, I would definitely communicate better than how I did back in the past. That's what I would say right now. And that's just for comics, okay, for comics. YouTube, and it's kind of what I'm trying to do right now, guys. My biggest problem with YouTube was consistency. Here's a couple things. Consistency. Number 2, sticking with it. Sticking with it. I'm trying to find my voice again on YouTube. That's what I'm trying to do. You know? I'm trying to find my voice again. And, I've been struggling with this for years. Like, a lot of you guys have been with me on these live streams. Like, a lot of you are familiar faces, and so thankful that you're here with me. No matter what whenever I stream, you guys are here. So I do thank you so much for that, But consistency. I keep saying I'm going to go every day, and then after 2 weeks, I get tired and I stop. I'm trying not to do that anymore. But yeah, no, that's another thing. Consistency. I think back to, and we talked about failure yesterday. I think back to when I had people working for me. I kept pivoting. I pivoted too often, and I should have stuck through. Like if I had an idea to do, or like if I had an idea, I should stick with it at least 4 months. At least 4 months. Stick it through, and see what happens. Because I would pivot back then, and then I look at the numbers I was doing, and when I pivoted, I would those are numbers I would dream of today, right? Numbers I would dream of today. But that's what it is. That's what it is. So consistency, that's the biggest thing, guys. Consistency. So yeah. So there's a lot of rambling today. A lot of rambling in this podcast. So I got questions for you guys. I got questions for you. If you listen to this particular podcast, or if you're watching me live, I have questions for you as well. Okay, so let me ask you these questions. Okay, and these are the questions that I answered. I'd love for you to answer it too. How would you approach making a living from your art? Okay. How do you avoid burnout? A lot of you gave your ideas. You can tell me, how would you avoid burnout? How would you price your own art? Would you ever work for free? And if you would, what are the circumstances you would work for free? How do you deal with hate online? A lot of you talked about it. It's fantastic. Keep going for it. Let's see here. Do you think social media is more important than skill? Why or why not? If you were an artist, a working artist, how long did it take you to be profitable? Or how long do you expect before you become profitable making art? Okay? Yeah, and I guess that's it. All right, so go for those questions, and thank you guys for listening. It's awesome, okay? So my buddy Chris is asking me what convention circuit to look out for the rest of the year. Are you excited for any next year? Well, next year's going to be a big thing, guys, because next year I'm having some life events happen next year that I can't wait to share with you what's going on, but now's not the time. But once the time is right, I will let you guys know what's going on with me. But in the meantime, I will say that the convention schedule for the next of the year, still just Canadian conventions. So I'm doing Quebec Comic-Con, Quebec Comic-Con this coming weekend. So the 13th and 14th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 13th and 14th. Oh, hold on. Sorry, no, 11th and 12th. Sorry, I don't know my dates. Sorry, yes, 11th and 12th in Quebec City. At the end of the month, the 24th to the 26th, I will be at Winnipeg Comic-Con. And then I will, from November 7th to the 9th, I will be at Halifax Comic-Con. And that is what I will be doing. Okay, so that is my convention schedule for the rest of the year. If any of you are interested in coming by those conventions, by all means, come by and say hi. Unfortunately, I was not able to go to New York City Comic-Con this weekend. That's starting tomorrow. If you are going, by all means, have a wonderful time there. It's gonna be. I'm going to have a little bit of the FOMO, as the kids say, a little bit of FOMO. But I'm happy to everybody who's able to go there. So have yourself a wonderful time, my friend. So, oh, and Chris, that hurts. Ouch. Ouch, my friend. I should do another 12-hour stream. I will, if I do 12-hour streams, they will be on Fridays, guys. Fridays are the days I will do my longer stream. But for now, I'm just doing these shorter streams where I'm trying to finish these comic covers in stream there. I'm just clapping to know when the podcast ends. Okay, so why don't we go ahead, and I'm going to thank you guys so much. And we got some great comments here. Michael says, we appreciate you sharing your experience. Always helpful. Just want to say thanks. Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Chris has just had bicep surgery. Ouch, my friend. I don't know anything about that type of surgery. I I have a little wrist surgery. That's about it. But that one sounds like it hurts, my friend. So please do take care of my brother. So do take care of yourself. So right now we're gonna go into some comments, guys. If you have any comments, by all means, go ahead and comment. I'm gonna go to any video comment here. I'm going to try to answer here. So, Truck versus Gun says another great commission. Hang in there. Okay. That was from the first stream that we did, the Venom stream. Thank you so much, my friend. One Mighty R says, I'm always amazed with how much detail you add to your artwork. That's from the Cartoon Villains video yesterday. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. Mr. BLX for Life says, speaking freely and drawing freely. That's living the moment. Best wishes for the future of the box office artist. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let me go ahead. And I'm still working on this Apocalypse one here. It's going okay. I'm going to see if I can just add a bit more. Believe it or not, I want to add more detail to this guy. I feel like it's not detailed enough. You know what I mean? It's not detailed enough. Well, hold on, guys. 1 second here. Yeah. Yeah. It needs more expression or something like that. I know. So, stuff like that. But anywho, let's go back to the comments here. And again, guys, if you have any comments, by all means, send in your comments as well. And hang out today. Ray Blackwell says, thanks for the tips. Thank you so much, my friend Ray. Good to see you. Let's see here. Are you gonna do those celebrity tributes again, James? Like the Jim Carrey? Those were fun. Those are definitely fun. Let me get some of these under my belt first. Possibly. Possibly, we'll see. But let me start with just our run-of-the-mill 80s cartoons first. Because, technically shows can do that as well. I could, we've done Friends before. Maybe we could do other shows like Who's the Boss or or The Nanny. Yeah, you guys know The Nanny. Well, tell me, guys. Let's go. I would love to know in the comments here. Let me know your favorite. Let's start with the 90s. Tell me your favorite 90s TV shows, like Full House. You guys like Full House? Or Step by Step? You guys remember Step by Step? Because it actually does kind of fit the theme. Because I'm going into this more retro artist direction. So it definitely could fit the theme for sure. Let's see here. Positive Production says, I only work for free if the opportunity generated business. Exactly. That's fantastic. Charity events and fundraisers. That's fantastic. Absolutely. All right. Let's see here. What are your thoughts about your fellow professional comic artists doing YouTube right now, such as George Molina, Frank Cho, Francis Manipul? I would say I'm happy I got in early. I'm happy they didn't do this in 2018. But really happy for them. That's fantastic. It's great for them. I know my buddy Francis. He's been putting out a lot of content recently. So good for him. Good for him. But it was going to happen. It was going to happen eventually. So the important thing is if you don't have a name like them, because guys, I'll be honest, they're gigantic names in the space. For someone to have a shot, you had to get in early. And I was one of the few that got in early. So I'm very happy I got in early. Let's see here. Echo, Full House, Fresh Prince. Yep, Fresh Prince. Chris Hawk loves X-Men 97 or X-Men 92 from OM. Right. Chris Hawk said Blossom. Yes, Blossom. Was Blossom? Whoa. Am I thinking of the right thing here? Or was that Joey? Who went, whoa? Michael Gardner in Living Color. Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one. But here's one thing, guys. Like me doing those type of videos, it only works. And I know this is going to sound like a given. But it only works if the artwork's good. Okay, if the artwork has to be good. So if I am to do like those things, like if I was to do like a Fresh Prince tribute, I can't, dog it, as they say. Like I can't, just go through the motions. It has to be really good. That's really good. MacGyver, love MacGyver. Hey, say no. There you go. Joey did the whoa, right? So who am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of then? So it was Friends, but who am I thinking of then? Who's that other guy? Whatever. Let's see here. This 90s Spawn Spirit series, yeah, for sure. This guy kind of looks like he's starting to look like Maul from Wildcats. Right? OM says Quantum Leap. I've never watched Quantum Leap. Did you guys enjoy that show? So yeah. So I'm trying to think of 90s shows. So yeah, I'm all for the sitcoms. If you guys want to do sitcoms and all that, but let's start off easy. Let's do cartoons first. Because even what I'm doing now, I want to kind of be related to a show. So I can say Apocalypse is related to the X-Men 92, the X-Men 92 show. So that works. So yeah, I'm definitely going all in on the nostalgic artist theme here. Yeah. Chris liked Lois and Clark. I love Lois and Clark too. Echo heard that Gargoyles making a comics crossover with either DC or Marvel. Wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot, like Dynamite Entertainment has been doing a lot of like 80s and 90s revivals of shows into comic books. So it's great to see, So, there's a lot of great artists too that are working on those. So. Hey, Dynamite, I'm here, man. Let's see here. Darkwing Duck. Yep, Darkwing Duck. You know which one I'm going to do? Actually, I'm probably going to do this sooner than later, guys. I'm probably going to do Gizmo Duck. Somebody, actually a regular of mine, he commissioned me, wasn't this year, about a year or so ago. He commissioned me about a year or so ago to do Gizmo Duck. And for me to do a detailed Gizmo Duck, I think that would be a pretty on brand, as we say, on brand. So that would make sense. Yep, 1980s Incredible Hulk show. You are correct. Good old Louis Ferrigno there. I should do that, guys. I should do a Lou Ferrigno. Yeah, Disney's adding a lot of 90s properties to streaming for sure. For sure. Okay, let's go to the 80s, guys. Let me know, what 80s properties are you do you like or do you love? 80s. Let's go to 80s. I know some of you, that's before your time, but we will get to your time in a minute. See, this is why I like working with comic covers, doing big face on comic covers. I could get a lot of details in there for sure. The 90s Flash show. I love the 90s Flash show for sure. Animaniacs. Yes, we are Animaniacs. We were paid for pay contracts. Was that what? I forgot what it was. Sit down and relax. We're Animani. Totally insane. Uncle Scrooge. There you go. Let me see here. I'm looking for reference for. I'm just looking for details for the 92 Apocalypse here. We got Space Jost and Johnny Quest. Okay, take care. I say no. AWO forever. Silverhawks. Yep. The Tick. That's one I want to do. There, positive. I'll probably be doing a Tick piece sooner than later. So let me see. Let me take a look at what sketch covers I have. We can try to figure out what we're going to do for tomorrow. Okay, figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. I think I do want to stick to the 90s theme. This 8 is running out. Let's see here. What bothered me about Apocalypse, he has those thick fish lips. Well, hopefully mine won't look so bad. Like you'll see it more when we get to the color stage. But yeah, hopefully it won't be too bad. There you go. There you go. Wildcats for tomorrow. Now, what I would like to do though is stick to something where I have a sketch cover for it. And if I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, one of the reasons I'm doing these sketch covers is because just for a little bit more merchandise to sell on the weekend. I'll let you know if somebody buys these covers on the weekend. The only reason I don't put it up for sale on my store right when I'm done, and I probably will once the strike's done. Once the strike's done, everything I work on, I'll probably go immediately to the store once the strike's done. But that's why. It's because there's a strike right now, a Canada Post strike right now. So if somebody wanted to buy these, I can't get it to them. So I'll let you know if anyone buys any of the covers I draw here today. We'll see. We'll see. VR Troopers. Yes. I love VR Troopers. Fantastic. Again, I would love to do Wildcats for tomorrow. I would love to do Wildcats. But again, I don't have a blank cover for sure for Wildcats. I thought I did. But I don't. So, yeah. Inspector Gadget. That's a good one. Yep, Inspector. That was one of my favorites, to be honest. I loved Inspector Gadget. Yep. Gru. Let's see here. Was there a Silver Surfer cartoon? Was there? I know there's that Battletoads. There you go, Taylor. I like that one. Battletoads. I like that. Scratching my back, guys. Scratching my back. Scratching my back. Uh, Let me see. I'm trying to see some details on this. There you go. So Disney has a Silver Surfer cartoon. Was that in the 90s too? Okay. Well, I still have some Fantastic Four covers. I definitely could try my hand at one. Because that would be a little bit tougher to draw for sure because, all the reflections and stuff to do it properly. So a lot of great properties out there. Okay, how about the 2000s? Some of you a little bit younger, 2000s cartoons. Like, of course, Ben 10. Ben 10's a big one. Ben 10 is one of the few that actually really does really well on YouTube still for me. It still does. So, what time is it, by the way? It's 1:02. Okay, guys. I have about... Okay, we're going to go on 2 hours on this. Going 2 hours on this right now. So we will be finishing up shortly here. Okay. Let's see here. Regular show, Echo says. Yep. Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah. That'd be nice. That'd be fun to do Calvin and Hobbes. That actually would be a fun one. I'd love to do a Calvin and Hobbes. Did Calvin and Hobbes ever have a cartoon? I don't think it has, right? Like you said, I think it's just a comic strip, right? Positive? But yeah, of course, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, yep, for sure. I'm just going to take a quick look. I'm taking a look at, just to try to figure out some extra details. I'm looking at the old, the X-Men movie Apocalypse, and it's just like, it's weird, man. It's weird. Okay, guys, let me just double check something here quickly, guys, if you don't mind. Okay. here as well. We're running down. We're probably winding down on the stream here a little bit, guys. I do have some things I gotta get going with. Okay, take care, Ray. Good to see you. So it looks like we get like 80% done on the actual what's it called drawing itself here. Okay, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off stream. But why don't we end today? Why don't we end today by doing a few more fast draws? Okay, so let's do that. Hold on, do I have paper? How can I do fast draw if I don't have paper? I think I might be out of paper. One second here, guys. One second. Oop. Okay, one second, guys. 1 second. Okay, guys, let's finish off today's stream. Give me something to draw, my friends. Give me something to draw. Again, X-Men related. Let's do X-Men related. Just to finish this off for today. We'll do a couple of streams here. So give me something to draw, my friends. Give me something to draw as we finish off here today. Let's see here. Okay. All right. All right here. Let's do a couple, and then we're going to call it a stream, okay? And hey, by the way, thank you guys for watching, for hanging out with me this morning, afternoon, a little bit later stream. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing it a little bit earlier tomorrow. Friday, there won't be a stream. If there is a stream, it might be in the evening. But most likely, we'll do it a little bit later on in the day. Okay, guys? So let's go with this one. All right. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Who do you think I'm drawing? I think I only put 10 seconds. There you go. I thought I had 48 seconds left. I didn't realize because I went the opposite way with this one. Okay, I'm already at a minute now. I'm already at a minute. I forgot to change it. But I'm just going to finish up here till I'm okay with leaving it. There you go. Yeah, this is supposed to be Jubilee. That was from Echo. Okay, so Echo. Okay, that's Jubilee. Let's do another one, guys. Give me more suggestions. Give me more suggestions. Oh, it looked like a few people asked for that. There you go. Okay, maybe we'll just do one more, guys, and then we're going to call it a stream for today. All right? So throw in your suggestions. Throw in your suggestions, and I'm going to restart this. So that was 1 minute and 30 seconds. 1 minute and 30 seconds there. Oh, let me stretch a little bit. Are you yawning? Are you yawning? Let me just check something here. Okay. Let's go. Okay, let's just do that. Okay, this will be the final one, so we'll do 3 minutes here, guys. Okay, so I do want to thank all of you guys for being part of the conversation today, because it was a very interesting topic today, so thank you guys for being a part of that. So I'm trying to figure out, actually, this is what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to draw this quickly here. 3 minutes, and then I'm going to, let's take a look at the blank covers I have. We'll take a look at the blank covers that I have. Let's see what we're going to do tomorrow. Maybe you guys can help me figure out what we're going to draw tomorrow. I do have to leave in about 5 minutes. I picked this up without reference, guys. Oh, boy. Hold on. Wasting time here. There you go. You know who I'm drawing now. You know who I'm drawing now. You know who I'm drawing now. You know. You know. So, yeah. It looks like Juggernaut more now. Oh, boy. I messed this one up. Let's see. Can I salvage it? I made the helmet way too thick on this one here. No, I can't fix it. I can't fix it. I can't fix it. Even there. I can't fix it. Oh, well, I messed it. Whatever. I kind of resolved myself. Well, that's not going in the video, is it? I'm just waiting for this to be over, to be honest. Let me get this over with. I don't like this one. It's a very thick helmet, guys. You know, why does Magneto look like Robin Williams? I guess he look like Robin Williams. There you go. My apologies, guys. I think Yotam was the first one I saw here. I think Yotam, you had one earlier today, right? So I got two today. All right, guys. So here's what we're going to do now before we end the stream here, because I do have to go. I'll be honest. I do have to get going. So before we end the stream, maybe you guys can help me out here, okay? And give me some suggestions, okay? So I got a whole bunch of blank covers here. Hold on. Boy, tons. I got tons of cover. You see this? Tons of covers. Got all these blank covers here. All these blank covers. So I'm gonna put out covers that would work for us. Okay. So I'm not gonna be doing this. I don't know why I got this one. I don't know why they got this one because I don't like colored covers. They're tough to work with. Not saying that I'll never work with them. They're just kind of tough to work with. So I'd prefer not to do that one. Is there something Spider-Man related we could do? We could possibly do that. This Green Lantern one. I have a Green Lantern one, but I'm holding that off. Maybe not Popeye. Like I could do another Gargoyles. I did one before, but maybe I won't do. Maybe I won't do Gargoyles. I probably won't do Gargoyles. Okay. We have. I was thinking about. This was one I was definitely thinking about. I was thinking about doing Gizmo Duck on one of these. So I have a Darkwing Duck one. We could go Street Fighter. We could go Street Fighter as well. I could do like a Blanca or something like that. That would be a lot of fun. That could be a lot of fun. Let's see here. So throw out suggestions. If you see a cover, you get inspired. Throw out some suggestions, guys. And again, I want to stick to cartoons. Like for example, I got a Brigade cover, right? Some of you don't even know what that is. I do. I definitely know Brigade, but like half of you, quite a few won't know what that is. Like I even have a Shadowhawk one, right? Oh, this is one. We could do Youngblood tomorrow. We could do Youngblood. That's not bad. That's not a bad one if we did Youngblood. Didn't Youngblood have a cartoon in the 90s? Did Youngblood have a cartoon? It's a very unknown one. But it might not. So you guys maybe could tell me. So let's see here. What else do we got here? Gotham. I got a bunch, but I don't. They're like similar. Like I got a Deadpool Wolverine. Probably won't do that. I got a Chitara, but I did a Chitara one already. That one would take too much time. Maybe not. I have a Black Panther one too. Turtles. Hey, Turtles. Let's see here. Yeah. X-Men. I'm just trying to see if there's something different here I could share with you guys. Because again, I got tons of Wolverine covers, guys. I got tons of Wolverine covers. So you probably won't see me doing Wolverine cover. I think that's about it. So, yeah, I'm kind of liking the Youngblood one, guys. I'm kind of liking the Youngblood one. I think that would be a lot of fun to do. So we'll think about it. We'll think about it, guys. But I'm probably sticking to one of these. Either we're going to do Gizmo Duck here or something Street Fighter-ish or Youngblood. I think Youngblood would be fun. Youngblood would be fun. But anyway, guys, for those of you who don't know, that we were drawing this today. I'm going to finish this off screen. So thank you guys for following along and watching, for hanging out with me today. George has an idea for the Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Is it something that's just one character? Because it's got to be just one character. Just got to be one character, okay? But anyway, thank you guys for following along and for hanging out with me this morning. Watch out for, I'll be having this reel up tomorrow. Yesterday's reel with the Galactus, that's going to be up later today. I will also have another video up today. So if you want to check that out too, please do check out the video I had yesterday, the Shockwave video. That was a lot of fun put together. Go ahead and check that out. I have plenty of content, so please do subscribe and hang out with me in these live streams. I really appreciate all of your support. All of you guys are awesome. All of you guys are the best. All of you are part of the Artist New World Order. Give me a hand. Give me a hand. Give me a high five right here. High five. Give me a high five right here. And thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best. My name is James. I am the Box Office Artist. I'm here to say keep drawing. I'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. You are listening to the Box Office Artist Podcast.